Good afternoon. Today is Monday, the 3rd of February. I'd like to call the meeting of the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee to order at 3:02 p.m. Welcome to everyone viewing and participating. And if those members here in attendance, if we could just stand for the reading and the audio Indigenous Land Acknowledgement Statement, please.
We begin this meeting by acknowledging that Quinte West is on Indigenous land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. We thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Indigenous peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territories of the Anishinaabe, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and the Mohawks of the Bay of Quinte First Nation. This territory is covered by numerous treaties. We recognize and deeply appreciate their historic connection to this place. We also recognize the contribution of the Métis, Inuit, and other Indigenous peoples have made, both in shaping and strengthening this community in particular, and our province and country as a whole. This acknowledgement serves as recognition of the contributions and historical significance of Indigenous peoples across Turtle Island and demonstrates our collective commitment to meet the promises and address the challenges of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission within our community.
Thank you. And my thank you to Director Grimmin and Director Clerk McChesney for implementing this soon as a result of a request. Moving forward, is there disclosure of any pecuniary interest? Seeing that there are none, approval of today's agenda. Agenda for the February 3rd, 2025 Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee meeting. The resolution being that the agenda for the February 3rd, 2025 Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee meeting be approved. May I have someone to move? Sure. Your Worship. Someone to second? Councillor Sharp. All in favor? Carried. And if we could, moving next to the approval of the minutes of the last meeting on December 2nd, 2024, the resolution being that the minutes of the December 2nd, 2024 Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee meeting be approved. Someone to move that, please. Member Brown, second by Councillor Boyce. All in favor? Carried. Any public input? Unfortunately, there's no members of the community here, but there's been no notice of any such public input online. Okay. And the same for delegations and presentations. Nothing that's been noted or received in the last few days under correspondence. Thank you. And items for the committee's consideration, and I'll ask that Member Brown speak to regarding the update on the Canada Day initiatives, please.
So we do have a new subcommittee member, and we will be meeting with Robert on Friday. But in the meantime, myself and committee member Goral met with Jacqueline and Colleen regarding, what's the best approach for this integrated cultural portion of the Canada Day Festival. Initially, we were kind of thinking it would be an extension to the existing Canada Day Festival, but upon, further, discussion and thinking about it, we think that's the wrong direction, and that it should just be immersed and included into what's already happening. So we now have a clearer picture as to what we can and can't do, and we are reaching out to hopefully book some possible entertainment for some of the slots on the schedule for Canada Day, and then we will be looking to find some vendors in the way of businesses as well as cultural groups that would like to participate as well. So we'll have another update that can happen after Friday's meeting, but that's the basis of what's happening. Is now we have a vision, and we are in the process of reaching out to find the people and businesses that we can have participate.
Thank you. The meeting on Friday, that's between all the subcommittee members, correct?
Correct.
Any questions of Member Brown?
Just talk to Mother Nature and make sure we got good weather. That's all. Thank you.
Well, I'd like to, on behalf of the committee and the city, I'd like to welcome the new subcommittee member, Robert Warham. Unfortunately, he couldn't be present with us today. However, I'm going to read a letter from him that he's prepared on his inclusion into the committee. Members of the committee, I am writing to express my gratitude for appointment to the subcommittee tasked with incorporating a cultural element into this year's Canada Day Festival. I'm excited to contribute to this important initiative. I would like to extend a special thank you to committee member Isaac Mundy for recommending me and the other subcommittee members and staff for their welcome. This is a fantastic initiative, and I'm eager to work with all of you. I believe this is a wonderful opportunity to connect with other community partners and build a strong coalition that champions diversity, inclusion, cultural acceptance, and celebration. I have reached out to groups and community leaders, and I look forward to sharing their perspective and ideas at our upcoming meeting later this week. I recognize that while we may have limited opportunities to implement activities this year, I am optimistic about laying the groundwork for expansion in future years. I would also like to commend the mayor, councillors, staff, and committee members for their open and consistent support of inclusion. It is vital that we maintain this support, especially during times of fear or when faced with vocal or active criticism. It is crucial that we do not retreat from our commitment to inclusion, but rather stand firm in our belief that a diverse and welcoming community is a stronger community. I regret that I am unable to attend the committee meeting on February 3rd. Hopefully the other subcommittee members and Director Grimmin can provide an update on the consultation so far. I will review the recorded feed so that I can understand any feedback from committee members. Thank you again for this opportunity. I am excited to collaborate with the subcommittee members and contribute to a successful and inclusive Canada Day Festival. Sincerely, Robert Warham. Thank you very much for taking the time to send that to us, Robert. And absolutely, we look forward to meeting you in person, although other members, staff members and councillors have met you in your participation on other committees in the committees for the city. Any other new business before? Director Grimmin? Sorry, Councillor Sharp. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to speak to February as Black History Month. And I wanted to ask, we certainly celebrate Black History Month, and I wondered if Member Brandy, who does host an event in her business, and if she would mind sharing that with the community here today. And I thank her for that and all the celebrations as we recognize Black History Month. Thank you.
Thanks for asking about that. Chair Wanamaker was actually going to mention something about that under new business, but you caught it. So in the art gallery across from Tomaso's, these four walls, this is our third annual Joy and Wellness Black History Festival on February 22nd from 1 till 3 p.m. This is a free family fun event. There will be live performances as well as creative activity workstations and some complimentary refreshments. And the festival sometimes does trickle closer to 4 o'clock, but the scheduled time is from 1 till 3, and everyone is welcome. So we hope that this year, every year it seems to grow a little bit with more attendance. So we're hoping that we will see an increase in attendance again this year, although the past 2 years, the attendance was not disappointing. So we're excited for February 22nd.
Thank you. And that, I believe, is one of the city is one of the sponsors for that as well?
Yeah, the city has sponsored, yes.
Any other new business? Director Grimmin?
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. Just wanted to bring the committee up to up to date on some recent conversations and meeting that we had with a new group that is in the region. They have a website, quinteculture.ca, and they are called the Quinte Cultural Innovation Committee. Yeah, really doing some great things, and just to kind of dovetail on Council Sharp's note about some of the events taking place. They are also looking at, and they have published a calendar for the month of February to recognize African Heritage Black History Month. So they've got kind of a listing of different initiatives and activities to recognize that month. Yeah, if you are able, we'll certainly send the link to their website so that you're able to check them out. They list their key mandates as affordable eco-housing for marginalized persons, food security and sovereignty through permaculture, equity in education, and connected events for BIPOC plus allies through the arts. So certainly, community engagement is a really big part of what they're doing. And as I mentioned, they've published a month-long calendar with all the different activities that they're aware of and in some cases involved with that are taking place throughout this month. One of those in particular, we've worked with them to help secure the Battawa Community Center for their location. They are bringing in children's author Nikki Clark. She is the author of The Paperclip Princess. So she's going to be featured at the Battawa Community Center from 6:30 to 8 p.m. on the 14th of February. So again, I'll be sure to follow up and send those details through to the committee after today's meeting. I'll also just mention, and we'll also include in the follow-up from today's meeting, that they are working in conjunction with the Business and Profession Women's Hastings and Prince Edward Group, the Women's Work, WORK acronym group, and the Bay of Quinte Regional Marketing Board on a workshop coming up on the 6th that looks at intersectional feminism. So we'll also send those details around as well, and there's a spot where you can register if you're interested in taking part in that webinar and workshop.
Thank you. That sounds very interesting and obviously timely. Is that something, and perhaps I'm not navigating the website properly, but when I type in Black History Month into the city's search website, nothing comes up. And is it something that I'm searching wrong? Because not even the event at Four Walls pops up. It's a different area, but it's not under, if Joe Public or Joanne Public were to search Black History Month like I did, nothing popped up.
Through you, Madam Chair. So we did work kind of within the confines of our current website's functionality to kind of move some of those most searched tiles and services up on the website last year. So you will see a tile on the homepage of quintewest.ca, the city's website for tourism and events. When you go into that tile, it will take you to a number of different selections, and one of those is for a community event calendar. So the community event calendar is populated through our regional partnership with Bay of Quinte Regional Marketing Board. So organizations and community stakeholders can upload their events, and then it will populate through to the city's website and also to the Bay of Quinte's calendar. So we certainly encourage the community. It's a fairly simple process, and we do link that through our website as well, so that it does populate, through those regional calendars and as well on the city's community calendar.
Thank you. I figured it had to do with something with my lack of text understanding. So I appreciate the explanation. And yes, please do. And we also encourage people check out the Service Canada website for other details and other prominent Black history members who have done so much within Canada, and inform yourselves and educate yourselves on all. Is there anyone else with new business to bring forward? Director Grimmin?
Thank you, through you, Madam Chair. Maybe just further, I'll also mention the city also maintains a community engagement, public engagement platform called Get Involved Quinte West. It's also linked through the city's webpage, but the URL is just getinvolved.quintewest.ca. We do have a kind of project page and section specifically devoted to February as Black History Month. So there is a fair amount of information that we do pull from federal sources, the Ontario Black History Society, Ontario Heritage Trust, and others. So we'll also include that in the meeting minutes so that the committee has that information.
Thank you again. Well, I think that's going to be the fastest if there's nothing further to bring forward. Yes, Your Worship.
Madam Chair, I just want to acknowledge the letter that you read from our newest committee member. I want to thank him very much for responding to us and certainly describing our roles and objectives very well. And we're certainly pleased that he's willing to be a member. We work hard to be an all-inclusive community. We do. But I know that some people don't seem to think we're not, but we do work hard to do that. So I appreciate all the work that everybody does, because as you and I both know, and all of us, everybody's important, and everybody is to be treated with respect and dignity. There's no other option. So I thank all the committee members for those for the information and the objectives. I also want to comment on a couple of other things, if I might, not necessarily directly related to us, but ice fishing has been fantastic, if you like to ice fish. I came down yesterday and I didn't go out on the ice. I like ice where you skate, and I'm sure there's enough out there for me to skate on, but I'm just not, I guess you'd say, as fearsome as my grandson, who goes out there when the ice is, is so thin that you can see right through it, but he still fishes. And yesterday there were all kinds of, multiple people out there fishing and enjoying the activity. And right out here at the end of Duffer and out here at the mouth of the river and on down south by our water treatment plant and straight out through there and all the way down to the Balboa Bay Bridge. Many people. Now I see some of the ones who are out there, like some of them live right out there. That's, to be honest with you, they live there. They have a fish hut, they've got a shower, they've got a stove, they've got a bathroom, they stay right there. They're what you call your ardent fishermen. They're there, and they've caught some really nice fish this winter. So which is great. And of course, they fillet it and use it, eat it, spread it around. And I did talk to one gentleman yesterday who was out fishing, and his father, obviously, his father is not as well as his son is, and so they did catch some fish that they shared with their father because the father obviously used to ice fish and he's not able to. So those are the kinds of things that are happening. Yeah, they're related to tourism. They bring a lot of people here. A lot of people enjoy that activity. So I think it's great. So I just wanted to mention that. And as I said, I have a grandson who fishes, and he's been fishing since, I would say, they thought about making ice this fall. He's been out there when I wouldn't even dare think about it. But he's been very, I think, persistent, consistent. He's got equipment and all the stuff if he goes through the ice, he thinks he can get back up, which is great. But he's also caught some really nice pickerel. So that's the other thing I'll mention while we're talking about this. We've got two hockey teams, the Huskies and the Hawks, and we're very fortunate in this city to have that. We are. There are very few cities that have what we've got, and they're both on the top of the world. One's top of all Ontario, and I think the other one's very, very close in terms of victories and playing. And I love to see the young people out there, enjoying the facilities that we have here, and our staff do a fantastic job looking after our facilities, keeping the ice great. People complain about the cold arena in Frankfurt, but Frankfurt's got the best ice. You can't have a warm arena and have good hard ice. So Frankfurt is doing well, and it's a well-kept facility by our staff. So those are great things. I think the Hawks play in Coburg tonight, I think, but don't hold me to that because I'm not absolutely sure. But my one grandson worked at Bataski Hill on a weekend, and one of the days he worked, they were so busy that they had to open the T-bar, which again is great because they've got the chairlift, and they open the T-bar when they have more skiers who want to get up and down, and they can lift with the chairlift. So that's another great activity that people are enjoying. So I think that's pretty well exhausted my knowledge right now, but gives you a little idea of what's going on there. I know there are some other things. Our fire department and our police departments have worked hard with different issues in the last few weeks, dealing with challenges that we don't expect to have, but we do. So thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship, for your comments. Ice fishing is a lot of fun to do when the ice is about 2 or 3 feet thick. I totally agree. So if there's nothing further, I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn, and the resolution being that the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Advisory Committee now adjourn at 3:25. May I have someone a motion? Certainly. Your Worship, second by Member Mundy. All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.